All right, welcome into War Memorial Stadium for today's final home games for the Apprentice School Builders. Today, the Builders are taking on Virginia Peninsula Community College, cross-town, cross-peninsula rivals, I guess you could say. First time this season these two teams will meet, so let's go ahead and take a look at Virginia Peninsula's batting order. So leading off and playing left is going to be Sean Burns, Jr. Batting second and playing short is Joshua Flissick. Batting third and playing second is Connor Lamb. Fourth, playing first is Garrett Hudson. Batting fifth and playing third is Landon Morris. Playing right and batting sixth, I'm getting lost, wow, is Andy Lemaster. DHing and batting seventh is Tony Soriano. Batting eighth and catching is Cameron Byers. And rounding out the order and playing center is Cole Draper. All right, Builders in the field look very similar to how they have for a lot of this season. Around the outfield, you've got Jaden Anderson in left, Nate Erie in center, and Jackson Thomas in right. Round the horn, third to first, is Seth Harrison. He has been doing a lot of catching this year, but he's out at third today, and at short is Isaac McAllister. Second is Landon Turner, and at first you have Jet Winslow. Luca Pasquarella is back from injuries finally. From his broken finger, he's doing the catching, and Charlie Higginbotham is doing the pitching. Let's see what Higgy's got for some stats real quick. We can throw those out. Charlie's got a 3.80 ERA, 6-2 win-loss record, 13 appearances and 9 starts. He's thrown 2 complete games. He has 2 shutouts. Let's see. He's got 20 strikeouts on the season, and opponents are hitting .309 against the lefty. So again, leading it off is Sean Burns. Beautiful day today, 61 degrees here in Hampton. Sunny skies. Great day for baseball. First pitch, strike one. Swing and a miss. Strike two. On that off-speed pitch. 0-2 count. Outside, 1-2. Pitch was pulled towards the Builder dugout. The 1-2. Inside, 2-2. That one's lifted out of play down the right field line. Rolling through the parking lot. Count remains 2-2. And that pitch was low and in for ball 3. Counts now full of 3-2. Payoff pitch from Higgy is lined into right center. It's going to get down for a leadoff base hit for the Gators. Starting to think I might have spoke too soon. So that'll bring up the shortstop, number 43, Joshua Flessick. This is the first season the Builders haven't played multiple times against the Gators. We generally get to see them probably 3 different dates, so generally 4 to 6 games a year, but not this year. First pitch was a ball. Second pitch in there for strike 1. As Joshua is squared to bunt, he's trying to sacrifice the runner to third. Jets weigh in on the grass. Throw back to to second. One pitch. Popped out of play. Back to the net. 1-2. Swing. Well, not a miss. Foul tip into the catcher's glove for out number 1. That'll bring up the second baseman, Connor Lamb. Yeah, they throw back to second. That is not an official stat that I see on the stat sheet, but pickoffs, Charlie's got a bunch of them this year. First pitch to Lamb, ball 1. Low, 2-0. Foul back towards the Builder dugout. Strike 1. Counts now 2-1 with 1 out and a runner at second. Three and 1 to the Gators shortstop. Strike called by the umpire. Makes the count 3-2. Connor thought that was ball 4. So now the payoff pitch from Charlie coming. Runner goes, and that one's lifted into shallow right. It's going to drop. Run is in. As VPCC strikes first. So that'll bring us to Garrett Hudson, the first baseman. First pitch to Garrett was a ball. Swing and a miss. Counts even. 1-1. Throw over to first. Runner back safely. Runner goes. No throw. The pitch was called a strike for strike 2. Counts now 1-2 with a runner at second. In the dirt, theoretically. Counts even 2-2. That pitch fouled back. The 2-2 pitch. Again lifted into shallow right center. Landon goes back but can't make the play. Runner does not advance. That'll bring us to Landon Morris, the third baseman. First pitch he sees is ball. Charlie fakes the throw to first, or to second. 2 on, 1 out. The 1-0 pitch. Grounded towards first. Jet over to second. Back to first for the inning-ending double play. So the Gators get 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, 1 man left. We'll be back for the bottom of the first in just a moment. All right, welcome back. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Gators in the field. I meant to write this down, and I haven't yet. So left to right, you've got Burns in left, Draper in center, and LeMaster in right. Around the horn, third to first is Morris at third, Flesick at short, Lamb at second, Hudson at first, Byers is doing the catching, and Wells is doing the pitching. So the Builders' batting order kind of goes back to, I'm going to call it normal. It'll change up next year, obviously. Nate Erie's leading off. Batting second is Jaden Anderson. Luca Pasquarella batting third. Harrison's batting cleanup. Landon Turner's batting fifth. Jackson Thomas is batting sixth. Jet Winslow's seventh. Drew Barbosa's DHing and batting eighth. And Isaac rounding out the order, batting ninth. So leading off for the Builders is Nate Erie. Nate's batting .303 on the season. 28 RBIs so far this year in his senior season. The Builders are 33-5. First pitch. Swing and a miss from Nate. 20-3 at home, 10-0 on the road, and then 3-2 in neutral site games as they went down to Myrtle Beach and played 5 games down there. Second pitch is a ball. Counts even, 1-1. Nate lifts that one into right center. And the Builders have a leadoff base hit. That'll bring Jaden Anderson to the plate. Jaden's batting .339 on the season. 2 home runs, 29 RBIs. Nate Erie, always a stolen base threat. He's 25 for 27 on the season. First pitch to Jaden is inside, ball 1. That puts Nate 12th in the USCAA for stolen bases. High chopper to third. Do not get Nate at second. So that'll bring up the catcher, Luca Pasquarella. Like I mentioned, Luca just coming back from injury. He's only started 12 games this season, batting .313 with 6 RBIs. I'm sorry, he's batting .333 with 6 RBIs. I went down an extra line. First pitch to Luca is a strike. So runners on first and second, nobody out for the Builders. Outside. Counts even, 1-1. Grounded is through the hole between second and short. Nate is waved around. Jaden makes his way to third. And the Builders have tied the game at 1. Out comes Baker Green to courtesy run for the catcher, Luca. Seth Harrison now steps in, the cleanup hitter for the Builders today. He's batting .313 on the season. 3 home runs, 34 RBIs. Back to the stolen base department. Baker has 27 stolen bases. That puts him tied. Can't remember if it's 7th or 9th, but it's one of those. Runner goes, throw down. Baker's in safely. Jaden comes in on the throw. So Green adds a stolen base to his total, which moves him into a tie for 5th place at 28. So Baker is 28 for 30 in the stolen base department. Count is 2-0 on Seth. Throw back to second. The second baseman would have been there. They'd have had Baker easily. But no one was there, thankfully. High pitch was high, 3-0, or 3-1. They called a balk, so no pitch. Runner advances to third as out comes the pitching coach to talk to his pitcher. Had that pitch counted, it would have been a ball. And Seth would have found himself at first base. All right. So, conversation's over. 3-1 is the count. Outside, ball 4. And Seth draws the walk. That'll bring up Landon Turner. Landon, the sophomore, batting .340 on the year. 26 RBIs. So the Builders have brought 2 runs across. That pitch way outside. Ball 1. Runner on first and third and nobody out. Low 2-0. Lifted high on the infield. In comes the first baseman, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Jackson Thomas, the right fielder. He's leading the team in batting. Hitting .378 on the season, 19 RBIs. He started in 29 of the 36 games he's appeared in. So he's only not appeared in 2 of the Builders' 38 games. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Foul back, out of play, strike 2. Got by the first baseman. And Jackson gets himself an RBI single. As Baker comes in to score. That'll bring Jet Winslow to the plate. Winslow, one of the many seniors the Builders have on this team. Batting .292 on the season, 27 RBIs. Runner on first and second, 1 down, and Jeff lifts that one out of play down the right field line. Fastball in there for strike 2. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded towards third. And they pull the first baseman off the bat. It looked to me like they pulled the first baseman off the bag. The umpire over at second did call him out. As of right now, the Builders have 3 runs on 3 hits and 1 error and 2 men left. 1 man left. The home plate umpire has overturned the call. So Jet is safe at first. So Thomas was thrown out at second. And Jet is on first. And that'll bring up Drew Barbosa, the DH. Foul back to the screen for strike 1. Barbosa is batting .300. He's started 10 games, appeared in 15. He has 7 RBIs. That pitch is high. Counts even, 1-1. Counts now 2-1. Caught the outside corner for strike 2. Counts even, 2-2. Builders wrap up the season today and head off to Buffalo next week. Might be the following week. Not exactly sure, to be honest. Runner goes. But they got Drew. Not Drew. Yeah, Drew looking. So, Builders do get 3 runs on 3 hits. 1. All right, we'll be back to War Memorial Stadium for the second inning in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Gators. First pitch lifted out of play to Andy Lemaster. Andy then turns that one to right field. But Jackson is there to make the play. So that'll bring up the DH, Tony Soriano. Through 2 1/3. Or I'm sorry, an inning and a third. Outside, 1-0. Inning and a third. Charlie's thrown 28 pitches, struck out 1. First pitch to Soriano was outside, ball 1. Second pitch caught the corner for strike. Counts even, 1-1. Soriano, foul ball. Soriano fouled that pitch off and landed just outside the baseline. He almost straightened it out enough. The 1-2 pitch coming from Charlie. Swung on and missed for strike 3. 2 outs here in the top of the second. So it'll bring up Cameron Baez, the catcher. Byers, I'm sorry. First pitch to Byers is outside. Second pitch was high, 2-0. Lined foul over the heads of the Builders in their dugout. Two one. Grounded towards third. Seth up, firing over to Jet for the third and final out of the inning. Gators go 1-2-3. We'll be back for the bottom of the second in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Bottom of the second inning. Builders lead 3-1. Builders bringing 9-1-2 to the plate. Isaac, then Yuri, and then Anderson. First pitch, outside, 1-0. Isaac drives the ball into center field. For a base hit, and they'll bring us to Nate Yuri. Nate singled to right his first at bat. Squares to bunt. Pulls back. Ump says strike anyway. Counts even 1-1. To the builder center fielder. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Outside, counts even, 2-2. Runner goes, pitches low, and Isaac is in safely. It's the second stolen base of the day for the Builders. Counts 3-2, and Yate, wow. Just combine his last name and first name, right? And Nate fouls that one out of play. That pitch goes off Nate's head. He will move to first, and that'll bring up Jaden Anderson. Jaden reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. Jaden squares to bunt, pops it into the air, and the pitcher came in to make a sliding catch for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Luca Pascarella. First pitch to Luca was low and away, ball one. Luca singled to center his first at-bat. Driving in a run. And he's looking at a 2-0 count here. Low and away, 3-0. Could just be my vantage point, but I feel like either he's in the strike zone or it's a non-competitive ball. The 3-0 pitch called strike. Counts 3-1. 3-2 as Luca fouls that one to the parking lot on the third base side of the stadium. Three-two pitch. Not sure if it hit him. I think it hit him. But bases are now loaded. And on comes Baker to courtesy run again. And Seth Harrison steps in with the bases loaded and one out. Here in the bottom of the second. First pitch to Seth was inside. Grounded hard up the middle. Flip to second. Baker's in safely. And Isaac comes around to score. Everybody's safe. Bases loaded for Landon. Landon popped out to the first baseman in his first at bat. He now steps in with the bases loaded and 1 out. The Builders have a 4-1 lead. Check swing. Foul back to the backstop. Strike 1. High. Counts even, 1-1. So, number 3, Hayden Kuntz, throwing in VPCC's bullpen. The 1-1 tapped to the pitcher. Home for 1, and then to first for the second and third out of the inning. Builders get 1 run on 1 hit, no errors. 2 men left. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Charlie Higginbotham in for his 3rd inning of work. Threw 2. He's thrown 36 pitches, struck out 2, giving up an earned run. 9-1-2 due up. Cole Draper leading it off here for the Gators in the top of the 3rd inning. Grounded foul. Strike 1. The 1-0-1 pitch in there, strike 2. Monday at noon is the USCAA Small College World Series bid show. Outside. 1 and 2. Builders will find their seating that day. Currently sitting number 2 in the poll. Fouled off his leg there by Cole. Builders sitting second. Salem University sitting first. The 1-2. Low. Counts even, 2-2. So currently the top 10 for baseball sits Salem Apprentice School. Check swing, didn't go. And Draper has a leadoff walk. Penn State Du Bois is third. United States Sports University is fourth. Miami Hamilton is fifth. UC Claremont sixth. Penn State Mont Alto 7. Florida National University's 8. John Melvin. They were in the NSAC last season, but not this year. They're sitting 9th, and Central Maine is 10th. First pitch to the leadoff batter, Burns. Strike one. Grounded to third. 1, 2, maybe. First base coach doesn't argue, but so much. And that'll bring up Flesick. He pops that second pitch to shallow right. Thomas is there. So once again, 1, 2, 3. Here in the third, we'll be back for the bottom of the inning in just a moment.
The USC AA provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
All right, welcome back. Bottom of the third inning. Builders lead 4-1. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Builders. Thomas, Winslow, Barbosa. Oh, I hope I was actually on my mouse pad. So Nationals are right around the corner. Leading it off, Jackson Thomas. Jackson singled to right his first at bat. Driving in a run for the Builders. First two pitches to Jackson are not in the strike zone, so he has a 2-0 count. Lifts that one high to left center, and Draper is there, the center fielder, to make the play. That'll bring up Jet Winslow. Jet is 0 for 1. Reached on a fielder's choice his first at bat. First pitch is a ball. Second pitch foul back to the backstop. Counts even, 1-1. Foul down the first base line. Just foul. That pitch skips in there for ball 2. Counts even, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch. Popped high on the infield towards second. Lamb under it for the second out of the inning. And Drew Barbosa steps in. Drew's 0 for 1 today. Struck out looking his first at bat. He lines that one right up the middle into center field for a base hit. We'll bring up Isaac McAllister, who singled to center his first at bat. So he's 1 for 1 today. That pitch in there, strike 1. 79-mile-an-hour fastball. Outside. Strike 2. Counts now 1-2 to the Builder shortstop. Pitch was high, 2-2. Counts now full, 3-2. 2 outs. Barbosa on first. Runner will get head start here. Ball 4. Isaac draws a 2-out walk. That'll take us back to the top of the builder order with Nate Yeary. Nate is 1 for 1. Singled in the first, hit by a pitch in the second. Both at-bats and innings. So runners on first and second, 2 down. First pitch to Yeary is low, ball 1. That pitch was high. 2-0. Three and 0. That one was down in the fake dirt. And in the pellets, here at War Memorial Stadium. Infield is turf with the rubber pellets. Outfield is grass. Pitch cut back across the plate for strike one. The 3-1. Ball four now to Nate Yeary. So bases are now loaded. Jaden Anderson steps in. He's 0 for 2 today. Reached on a fielder's choice and grounded to the pitcher. First pitch to Jaden was high and outside, ball one. '80, 79-mile-an-hour fastball. In there for strike. Counts even 1-1. Grounded, not grounded, but up the middle. One run is in. Isaacs waved home. He's upstanding, and the Builders get 2 runs on that Isaac McAllister single, and now lead 6-1. That'll bring up the catcher, Luca Pascarella. Luca's 1 for 1 with an RBI today. He's singled to center and been hit by a pitch. First pitch is low, ball one. Ball two. Guessing that might have been inside a little bit. Swing and a miss, strike one. Counts now 2-1. Two and two is the count. Is that one caught the corner? Grounded towards second. Lamb bobbles it over to first for the third and final out. But not before the Builders get 2 more runs on 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left. We'll be back to War Memorial and the 4th inning in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
All right, welcome back. Top of the 4th inning. Builders leading at 6-1. Virginia Peninsula bringing 3-4-5 to the plate. Lamb, Hudson, Morris. Charlie's through. So Lamb grounded at over to short. Isaac over to Jet for the first out of the inning. I'll bring up Garrett Hudson. Garrett reached on an error his first at bat. First pitch he sees this time is strike. If you remember in the first inning, there's a high, lazy fly ball to shallow right that went off the tip of Landon's glove. It was initially ruled a hit. They went back and changed it to an error. Down and in. Counts now 2-1. Three and one. Three-one pitch called strike two to make the count full at 3-2. Three-two pitch. I'm going to go with that was called a ball. So Hudson draws a walk to be just the second base runner for the Gators since the first inning. So Morris steps in. Landon Morris, he's 0 for 1. Grounded out to short his first at bat. First two pitches are in there for strikes. Counts 0-2. Almost got him at first as Higgy threw over. Back safely again. Outside, 1-2. Pitch foul back to the screen. Count remains 1-2. Throw over to first. Counts now 2-2 as that pitch got away from the catcher. Runner advances to second, taking away the double play threat. Outside, 3-2. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming. Full count. Runner on second. And that one's line to center field. Nate is up and firing home. Runner stays at third. So now the Gators have runners at the corners with one down. And the right fielder, Andy LeMaster, stepping in. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to the right fielder. Runner goes. Grounded up the middle. Got the 1 and 2. Isaac took it himself to second. And then threw it on to first for the second and third outs of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in the bottom of the 4th in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
The Apprentice Athletics Booster.
All right, welcome back. War Memorial Stadium. New pitcher for the Gators is number 3, Hayden Kuntz. So let's take a look at. So Jacob Wells went 3 innings, gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, all were earned. He walked 3, struck out 1 through 77 pitches, 39 for strikes. Seth Harrison steps in. Leading it off for the Builders. First pitch he sees is a strike. Second pitch is a ball. Counts down 1-1. Harrison is 0 for 1. As he's walked and reached on a fielder's choice. Counts now 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Oh, 3-2. And that pitch was called strike 3. Harrison disagrees. Can't say I blame him. Thought it almost hit him, to be honest. Landon Turner steps in. First pitch he sees is ball 1. He's 0 for 2. Popped out to first and tapped into an inning-ending double play. He's now got a 2-0 count. Pitch caught the inside part of the plate. Counts now 2-1. Soft grounder. Foul. Counts even 2-2. Grounded foul at first. Reached for that one. Line to first, caught by the first baseman for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up the right fielder, Jackson Thomas. Thomas is 1 for 2 today with an RBI. Flew out to center and singled to right. First pitch called strike 1. Outside, counts even, 1-1. Two and 1. Pitch was also outside. That one's hit into center, almost caught by the center fielder Draper. He makes a diving attempt. And Jackson slides into second safely. So Jackson's at second, 2 outs. Jet Winslow steps up. Jets 0 for 2. Reached on a fielder's choice and popped out to the second baseman. Outside. 1-0. Called strike. Outside part of the plate. The 1-1 pitch coming from Kuntz. Lifted into shallow right. In comes Lemaster to make the play. So Builders don't get any runs that inning. Leave a man. We'll be back to War Memorial for the 5th inning in just a moment.
The USC Young provides our program exactly what they say.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Braden Hayes, new pitcher for the Builders. So Braden has a 1.89 ERA, 9-0 win-loss record, 15 appearances, 8 starts on the season. Opponents hitting .229 against Braden. So Charlie's day is done. Charlie threw 4 innings, gave up 3 hits, 1 run, and that 1 run was earned. He walked 2, struck out 2, threw 62 pitches, 37 for strikes. So 7-8-9 due up for the Gators against the new Builder pitcher. Soriano steps in, swing and a miss, strike 1. Soriano's 0 for 1 today as he struck out his first at-bat. Strike 2. 86-mile-an-hour fastball from Braden. Foul back to the netting. On another 86-mile-an-hour fastball. Feel like going into national tournament, the Builders have that this season. They haven't had, in my opinion, over the last few years. Pitch was a ball, counts now 1-2. Or I'm sorry, 2-1 is a pretty deep starting rotation. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Builders have 3 solid starters in Braden, Higgy, and Redmond. As they head to Buffalo for the national tournament. So Cameron Byers steps in. Strike 1. He's 0 for 1 today. Swing and a miss. Counts now 1-2. Grounded towards second. Landon up over to Jet. 2 down. Here in the top of the 5th, and the number 9 batter, Cole Draper, coming to the, nope, that is not Draper. That is a pinch hitter. Number 55, Devin Gray, coming to the plate. Devin Gray out of Newport News, Virginia. Went to Heritage High School right up the road. First pitch he sees, he swings through for strike 1. High, counts now even, 1-1. Builders lead 6-1. Two and 1. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Two pitch, 2 outs. Line to third. Nice catch by Harrison to end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. No men left. We'll be back for the bottom of the fifth in just a moment. All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Gray stayed in the game to play center field for the Gators, and William Nina has come in to play left field. Leading off for the Builders is Drew Barbosa, followed by Isaac McAllister and then Nate Yeary. First pitch was high and away, ball one. Lifted into left center. Nina is there for out number one. So that'll bring Isaac McAllister to the plate. Isaac is 1 for 1 this game. He's singled to right and walked. First pitch to Isaac inside, ball one. So today's May 1st. Not trying to look. Fouled straight back. Went off the face of the press box. In between the two booths. But not looking too far ahead. August 29th, right around the corner. Pitch was outside. 2-1. August 29th, opening day for Builder football, 3-1. The game will be at the Apprentice Athletic Field, right there at the corner of 39th Street and Marshall. Isaac. Again, not actually sure if it hit him or he walked, but we'll give him the walk. Why not? And that'll bring Nate Yeary to the plate. Well, official score said it hit him. So we'll go hit by pitch. Nate Yeary's 1 for 1 today. Single to right. Hit by a pitch and walked. Outside. Or no. Strike one. I lied. So the first game of the season for the Builder football will be on August 29th. At 3, that'll be being dubbed Alumni Day. Runner goes. Good throw. Not good enough to get Isaac. As Isaac gets his second stolen base of the game. Counts 1-1. pulled down the line, diving first baseman. He can't pick the ball up. So Nate Erie reaches safely at first. Runners at the corners for Jaden Anderson. So that'll bring up Jaden Anderson. He's 1 for 3 today. Reached on a fielder's choice. Grounded to the pitcher, or popped to the pitcher, and singled to center. Nate Erie goes on an off-speed pitch. No throw. So there's Nate's 26th stolen base of the season. Inside, 2-1. Or I'm sorry, 2-0. Runners at second and third. And Jaden lifts that one high into left field. Nina's there. Isaac tags, and he's in safely. Score is now 7-1. We'll bring up the catcher, Luca Pasquarella. Luca's 1 for 2 today with an RBI. Luca's singled to center, hit by a pitch, and grounded to the second baseman. First pitch to the builder. Catcher's a ball. Lifts that one into right field. It's going to be over his head. Luca rounds first, heads for second, and he's in safely with a double. So another RBI for Luca. Baker Green comes in to run. Seth Harrison steps to the plate. The Builders lead 8-1. 2 down, runner on second. Seth is 0 for 2 with an RBI and a strikeout. Foul back to the screen. Strike one. The 0-1 pitch coming from Kuntz. Inside, counts even at 1-1. Down and in, 2-1. Three and 1 as that pitch was high. 3-1 count. Is a arm up in the Gator pen. Runner goes. Pitch was inside. No throw. Baker with his '30th stolen base, I think, maybe. So that'll bring Landon Turner to the plate as Harrison drew a walk. Turner is 0 for 3 today. Grounded foul. So nope, that's Baker's 29th stolen base. He owns 5th place all on his own. Counts now 2-1. Again, driven to right. Back goes LeMaster, and he's there to make the catch for the 3rd and final out of the inning. But the Builders do get 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors. 2 men left. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium and the top of the 6th in just a moment. All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Top of the 6th inning. 1, 2, 3 due up for the Gators. Leading it off is going to be Nina. Came in last inning to play right field. I'm sorry, left field, the other right field. This is the same guy, right? He writing down his book. Yep, William Nina. He replaced Burns, who was the leadoff batter. So now we got Nina the plate. Braden in for his 2nd inning of work. That pitch popped high into foul territory and out of play as it landed on the roof of the grandstands next to me. Outside, counts even, 1-1. Pitch skips up there to run the count to 2-1. Hit hard into center for a base hit. The first time the Gators have had their leadoff batter on since the 1st inning. Let's see. No, this time they had a 3rd one. Oh, yeah, in the 3rd inning walk. Low, 1-1. Counts even to the shortstop, Flesick. And he bloops that one into left center. It's going to get down. And the Gators get their first two batters on. So that'll bring Connor Lamb to the plate. He's 1 for 2 today with an RBI. Grounded to short. 6-4-3. So there's now 2 outs and a runner on third for Garrett Hudson. Outside, 1-0. The Gators today are 3 for 9 with runners on base. Again, haven't had a whole lot of opportunity outside the first inning. 2 for 7 with runners in scoring position. So the count's now 1-2. 2 outs. Builders trying to end this threat right here. High, 2-2. I think Braden has the 7th. We'll pitch 7th inning with the score how it currently stands. High, pop fly. It's going to get out of play. So it goes up and over the net. Count remains 2-2. High, 3-2. Payoff pitch. Just past Landon. 1 run is in. And Hudson has a single to center. That'll bring up Morris. Landon Morris is 1 for 2 today. Singled to center and grounded to short. First pitch was strike. Strike 2. 84-mile-an-hour fastball from Braden. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded up the middle. Landon is there over to Winslow for the third and final out of the inning. So we'll be back for the bottom of the 6th here at War Memorial Stadium in just a moment. All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. We have a new pitcher in for the Gators. It's number 25, Devin Romero, as well as a new first baseman. It's number 5, Anthony Tatoris. So due up for the Builders is Thomas Winslow Barbosa, 6'7", batter in the lineup. Thomas takes the first pitch, lines it into left field for a leadoff single. That was not Thomas. That was Jordan Higgins. So, and now we have Wirt pinch hitting for Jet Winslow. So Higgins singled to left. Wirt lines it to left, but the left fielder is there to make the catch. And back safely is Higgins. Drew Barbosa, the DH, steps in. Drew's 1 for 3 today. Pinch hitter is on deck. Aiden Walker. High and outside. Ball 1 to Barbosa. Barbosa lifts that one high into left field. Back to the track is Nina for out number 2. And that'll bring Aiden Walker to the plate. Aiden Walker is batting .231 on the season, and he lines that up the middle, or grounds it up the middle for a base hit. And that'll take us back to the top of the order, Nate Erie. Nate steps in with 2 outs and a runner on first and second. Pitch caught the corner, strike 1. Strike 2. That one also caught the corner. Time called by the catcher. What is that thing? Yeah. So we're in the bottom of the 6th inning of this 7-inning game. Builders lead 8-2. Nate's got a 0-2 count. He swings and fouls off the pitch to stay alive. Builders scored 3 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, and 2 in the fifth. VPCC scored one in the first and one in the sixth. That gets us to our 8-2 score. Nate lifts that one into center field. Over is Gray, makes the catch for the third and final out of the inning. So, Builders take their 8-2 lead here to the top of the seventh. And we'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment. All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Isaac McAllister re-entered the game to play short. Jet Winslow re-entered the game to go back to first. The only pinch hitter that stayed in the game is Higgins, and he went out to play right. So, infield is just as it was last inning. Outfield is Jaden in left, Nate Erie in center, and Jordan Higgins in right. Top of the seventh. Braden Hayes in for his third inning of work. First pitch is low, ball one. Braden threw 2 innings. He's given up 1 earned run, one strikeout, and thrown 33 pitches. LeMaster steps in. And he's got a 2-1 count. Pitch is in there to even up the count, 2-2. And that one's lifted into right field, and it gets down for another leadoff single. Pinch hitter coming up, 38, Aiden Cox. So on the roster for VPCC, it says hometown. And then it has high school next to it. Aiden Cox hometown's Austin, Texas. But he went to Grassfield High School, so more of a local product. First pitch to Cox was a strike. Second pitch was a ball. Counts even, 1-1. Called strike 2. Counts now 1-2 with the runner on first. Outside, 2-2. Got him looking, strike 3. Rutrow. All right, that'll bring up here, but I don't know if we necessarily did. Runner goes. No one goes to cover. Counts now 0-2 to Byers. Runner at second. Byers is 0 for 2 in this game 1. And Braden gets Byers looking for strikeout number 2 this inning. That'll bring up Gray. So Devin Gray steps in after going 0 for 1. He flew out to, really kind of lined out to the third baseman his last at-bat. First pitch high, ball 1. 85-mile-an-hour fastball from Braden. The 1-0. Low, 2-0. Chopped foul towards the Builder dugout. 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Then there for strike 2. Counts now full. 3-2 count, 2 outs. Runner on second. Payoff pitch from Braden. Grounded foul. Outside, ball 4. Gray draws a walk. It'll take us back to the top of the order. And William Nina. Nina singled. Singled to center his last at-bat. He's 1 for 1 today. He's got runners on first and second with 2 outs. Outside, 1-0. Pitches in there for strike. Counts even, 1-1. One got by Luca. 2-1's the count. 84-mile-an-hour fastball. Could have had one of the, honestly, as quick as that ball got back to Luca, I almost feel like if somebody would have been covering quicker, he could have thrown either to third or second. Coach Jones comes out to talk to Braden. I can imagine the conversation's going something like this. We got a 6-run lead. We need 2 strikes, 1 out. Just throw the ball in the strike zone. Let your defense do the work. Let's move on to game 2. The 2-1 pitch in there for strike 2. Counts even, 2-2. Lifted into center. It drops in front of Yeary. Throw comes home. Got him. They get 1 run, but they do not get the second run. So the Builders win this one by a final of 8-3. VPCC scores 3 runs on 8 hits and commit no errors. Builders put up 8 runs on 11 hits and commit 1 error. Next game will begin in approximately 30 minutes. So at 2:30 is expected first pitch. So 1 more to go on this season. We'll see you in just a little bit.